Hello, welcome Sapiens. Hope everyone's doing well. Ankit Bhatia here.
Rob.
Ethan.
Very special guest Ethan today. Welcome to our last AMA of 2019. Excited to have everyone joining us. So let's get started with a background of Ethan. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Ethan. I'm from Mexico. Been working on Sapien the last 2 years, I think. Yeah, more than 2 years, less than 3. And been a software engineer for the past 6 years. And yeah, I mean, uh, I really like to work on the web, so that's what I'm doing here at Sapien. And yeah, that's pretty much
Nice.
it.
When did you get started with programming? Well, it's been some time.
So I get started. So I get my degree on technology, but I get started like 7 years ago with actually 2 members of Sapien on the Mexico team, Javier and Katia. So we were studying network telecommunications, and we jumped to programming at the college. So we kind of started working on that.
Yeah, it's been absolutely great so far, and he's visiting us from Mexico, so yeah, really excited to have him here. Let's get started.
Cool. So first question is for Ethan. So the first question is, can you go over the Sapien technology stack at a high level?
Yeah, sure. So we got separation of the front end and the back end. So the version 1 of Sapien was actually like isomorphic application. We were using the Meteor framework for that. So for 1.5, we separate concerns between front end and back end with some microservices and some other WebSocket services. So on the back end, our back end is on Node.js. And for the database, we use Postgres. And we got some kind of middleware to serve the data in a more fashion way, which is GraphQL. And that's for the backend. Backend is pretty much simple. And on the front end, we use a framework based on React, which is called Next.js. And I think it's pretty much that. Our application is server-side render application. We decided to go with that since it makes more sense for this kind of social applications. We also got a few microservices hosted on Lambda for things like image resizing. So when someone get an image into the platform, we get a few versions of that same image with a different size for better rendering or showing or trying to get the best user experience. So the same image can look better in all the platforms. We also got a notifier, which is on Elixir, and so you guys can have all the notifications in real time, pretty much. And I think that's the whole stack. Yeah.
Cool. And then actually transitioning into the next question, someone asked, what as a remote person or as a remote worker in Mexico, how does your typical day look like?
So just the work day usually is we start at 9. Well, Mexico is 9. Well, we start more earlier, obviously, but the first thing we do in the morning is a daily stand-up with the whole remote team, the global team, let's say it. We get it at 9 a.m. Mexico time. And then when that meeting is over, I usually start looking into the PRs. A PR is something like the work other developers did days before, and they are usually from the Bangladesh team because they work like on a different time zone on the night. And then at 11 a.m. I got a call with one member of the Mexico team, Aaron. It's his lead on the mobile. And then at 12 p.m. I try to get a video call or at least a chat with the whole Mexico crew to see how it's going. I used to have a meeting at 1 p.m. with Jason, which is our manager here in Jersey. And then by 1 p.m. I try to get free by 2 and then start doing some work, my task.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's the thing about Sapien. We have developers all over, so there's always someone working on the project at any given time. So yeah, it's always he wakes up in the morning. There's tons of pull requests to review, and get to work. So
yeah, it's a follow up for that one is back to Ethan. I guess can you talk a little bit about the team in Mexico?
yeah, sure. So on Mexico, we are 5 of 10, 12 developers there. One of them is Javier. She's a really good friend of mine since college. He's our web front end lead developer. We can say he's the most experienced on the front end. So all the designs, all the beautiful stuff we see on the front end has been touched by Javier. And then we also have Katia, which is the full stack developer. She do all back and front end. We also have Aaron, which is the newest hire. He's on top of everything on mobile, so he's working on that. And we also got Alex, and he's just a front end developer. So yeah, I think that's the whole Mexico team. I think that's it.
Cool. And then this kind of directed towards Ankit, talking about developers. Can you talk about the developers on the Sapien team in general, I guess outside of the Mexico team, and the current experience that they have?
Yeah, definitely. So, we are really just really blessed with having a very diverse background with our developers. So we have some that have been working on full stack applications their entire life. Some, like Aaron was mentioning, have worked on mobile and React Native. We also have engineers that were working deep into in the back end with SMS and been around the industry for the past 30, 40 years. So really have a broad spectrum, which is awesome because everyone's sort of learning from each other. You have some of the new devs bringing out really cool, shiny new technology, and you have the older devs being like, hey, let's slow it down. Let's evaluate the tech before diving into it. So it really does give us a very an advantage with our team because everyone sort of brings their own perspective. And in terms of experience, we have everyone ranging from a minimum of 5 years up to 30, 20 plus years. So yeah.
Cool. And this one's directed towards Rob. Someone asked about the posts on Sapien, wondering how long can the posts of each users on Sapien be collecting rewards?
So for now, it's a 24-hour period. We're exploring in the future, maybe playing around with that. We really just want to build out a system that fairly rewards people and incentivizes people to share their opinions and reward content that they like.
Cool. And then this one's, again, directed towards Ankit. Someone's asking how support on the Sapien platform works.
Yeah, so I think this was a question I saw on the beta in one of the threads, but we do have the support small chat in our application in the bottom right, and that actually goes to a Slack channel that the support team is managing. So we try to have someone respond within 12 to 24 hours. So if anyone gets stuck on the application with any issues, we're always there to resolve them. You can also reach out to support@sapien.network if you have some more issues that you need further help with. We also have a great forum at forum.sapien.network where there's additional resources which we're constantly looking to update. And yeah, we're always there to help you guys out.
Cool. This question is directed towards Ethan. They're wanting to know, for the Sapien API, do you plan to make that API available to developers?
This is something we already think about it. It's in our plan, but it's not maybe for the future. Since we already discussed that, it's not something that's gonna be really difficult because everything is already in place for doing that. But it's not on the short term, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and it gets really exciting once we do, if we do consider opening up an API, then you get these other front end applications being able to build with all the cool stuff that we've been building on the back end. So, you can imagine other clones of Sapien that are, maybe more oriented towards certain regions or focusing on certain topics. So, it's really a cool idea and something we definitely would be exploring.
Cool. And this next question is actually pretty interesting. This one's for Rob. So this one talks about game theory. So they asked, what are some of the game theory principles you consider when designing the current rewards engine?
So I think one of the main principles is making sure that it's not exploitable. So if one user, say, wanted to fully game the system and control it entirely by themselves, that would totally break the experience. So we're always looking to prevent that and really just, as I was saying before, make sure that everyone can fairly share their opinion and reward posts.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, and I won't name any specific company names, but we've seen tokenized social networks with bad designs for the rewards engine. So that's something we've been studying and just trying to be as careful as we can when it comes to how people conclude and how we can reward people fairly for their contributions. So it's something that we're actively researching, we're prototyping, we're building out proof of concepts. But yeah, just
awesome. This one's also directed towards Rob as well. So as we know, Sapien has an audience or a user group that's also based around the world. So some people want to know if Sapien will accept content in other languages other than English, and if so, when?
Yeah, that's definitely something we're looking into. I can't really give a hard timeline on that for now, but we definitely are very appreciative of all of our communities around the world and want to provide them the tools that they need to grow their communities.
Cool. And then a follow-up to Ethan. So that question, the follow-up is, how is Sapien planning to address the language barrier problem on the platform?
So this is something more into the platform more than the content, but this is called what we call it EATN, and it's something we already been kind of looking into it. It's something like more than a hard difficult job. It's gonna be like a more tedious hard work to get on the platform maybe and see what makes more sense to translate the platform. So right now it's English, maybe it could be in the Spanish also, or in whatever language the platform is more used. But yeah, it's something we're gonna be looking for the next year maybe.
Cool. And then also for Ethan, a follow-up. So this person is new to coding, trying to get into the space. So they're trying to figure out if you have any recommendations for good resources to help him start his journey on programming and development.
Sure. So this one is, I think, the most difficult question. So it depends on the person, but I think that what get me into programming, and let's talk it by me, and a recommendation is just get curious. And I was actually talking with Michael about this last Friday. Michael is a developer here at Sapien, and I think the curious is the most important thing. And I remember when we started looking into web programming, like how the data transfers work between the client, could be the browser or a cell phone, to the server. So we start looking into HTTP, but so you can get deeper and deeper and deeper. And when you really get deeper into one topic in the specific, you will be looking curious. Then you can start reinforcement of what you just learned in your journey. So that's when you get into the books maybe. So you start like putting solidification into what you just learned while practicing. At least that's for me. Some other people can get more into programming just by learning and practicing, or just learning. But yeah, I think. But the best thing is just get curious.
Yeah, I mean, curiosity is such a good life philosophy as well. So yeah. I mean, that's spot on.
Yeah, I mean, Rob, Anke, you guys are developers as well. So if you guys have any input, feel free to hop in.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Ethan really summed it up. You sort of just have to keep interested, keep finding things that you go build them.
Get your hands dirty. Don't stand back and just let other people have all the fun. You got to jump in once in a while. So.
Cool. And then moving on to probably one of the most frequent questions is, this I guess directed towards Ankit. Can the team share if they're currently working on a mobile app? We've seen this question pretty much being asked, for a while now. So I guess can we share some clarity on that?
All right, Sapiens, you're hearing it first in the Sapien AMA. We are indeed working on a mobile app, and there will be more details coming. But we will be opening up beta registration ideally in Q1. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be giving access to our most active, the top users on Sapien first. So stay tuned. We'll be launching a beta program soon. So yeah.
Cool. And if you want to conclude it with any more words, Ankit, feel free to hop in here.
Yeah. It looked like we had some internet connectivity issues towards the end. So I just want to help conclude the AMA. Again, incredibly proud of what our team has accomplished in 2019. It's been a ton of building, and really looking forward to 2020 when we flip the page and start some of our big marketing initiatives. So we are really just getting ready for a strong PR push. We have some exciting partners that we want to announce, along with the beta program that I was talking about earlier for the mobile apps. So really excited for 2020. I think it's the year of Sapien, and we look forward to having all of you continue the journey with us. Have a great New Year's, and we'll see you in January. Thank you.